What's up everybody, Teancum here with Sew Yeah Quilting. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you make this easy snail trail with a flare. Let's get started. Before we jump right on into the cutting instructions, let's talk about the fabric requirements needed for this project. As you can see here, we have 4 different colors. We have our dark, we have our medium tone, a lighter, and our absolute lightest square here. For our darkest, or our black in my case here, we need 1 3/4 yards. For our medium color, we need 2.5 yards. Our light, we need 3/4 of a yard, and our white will only need 1/2 of a yard. So as far as the cutting instructions for this goes, it's very, very simple. Everything that you're going to need are going to be squares. So download the pattern, it's down in the description below, and cut out all your squares. From there, you're essentially going to cut everything but your smallest square into 2 triangles. Let me show you how you do that. I'm going to grab my ruler here. I'm going to grab my ruler and cutter here. And what you're going to do is you're going to just go point to point and cut these directly in half, giving us triangles. You're going to do that for all of your squares here, except, like I said, for your smallest square. But let me show you what I've got going on so far. These are my largest triangles, second largest, third largest, the smallest of them all, and then I've got these itty bitty tiny squares here. This is all that you'll need to make your snail trail, which is this block right here. And fundamentally, to make this entire project, there'll be 3 different blocks. So we're going to start with the most complicated one and then work down from there. Now, the base of your entire project are these 4 squares, so make sure you get them in the right orientation. That way it'll be much easier to finish off your block. All we're going to do here though is sew them all together. So these 2 will be sewn together, those 2 together, and then making a simple 4 patch here. So let's go on and take these over to the sewing machine. First one done right there. We're going to just keep on moving. Simple 4 patch, nothing really fancy here. This is the stage where you either iron or finger press. But what I want to do here, since I know I'm going to have quite a few seams here, I'm going to just finger press this open, and I'm going to make sure I can nest those seams together. Put those right sides together. So my 4 patch is complete here. I'm going to go ahead and iron this flat. Guys, take the time to make sure you're ironing or pressing everything. That way it comes out super, super flat in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this. I'm going to show you what the next step is. So like I said, finished up ironing here. Let me show you what it looks like there on the back. Opened up the majority of my seams, trying to make this lay as flat as possible. And what I'm going to do during my entire project is I'm going to keep this black square on the bottom right. That way I have a nice anchor or reference point. Next, I'm going to take my smaller triangles that I've already cut here, and you're essentially going to just want to match your colors. I have my black block here, then I'm going to have my black triangle there. Same thing here. I'm going to put my medium purple with my medium purple, my light with the light, and again with the medium. So you just kind of follow the squares all the way around. Now we're going to do simple 1/4 inch seams here. So put that like so. And we're going to sew all the way down. Now, a little tip here to make sure everything stays straight is you have the point of your triangle. Line that up with your center seam. That way there's never a mistake on anything here. So, take this to the sewing machine. So you guys can see that first seam there. Now we're going to just keep repeating this process all the way around. Next one's going to get put on like so. Line up with the center. Nice finger press there. You can see kind of where we're going with this. Next one on, all the way around. I'm gonna throw in my last one here. Now that I'm at this stage, it's time to iron it and square it. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this and show you how to square it. So now, by squaring this off, really what we're going to do is I'm going to throw down my ruler, and I'm really just going to take off the dog ears, and I'm going to make sure everything lines up real straight here. So let's see there. So we got a dog ear here, cut that off. Got one here at the top, cut that off. Flip it around. And I'm lining up my diagonal line here that I've gotten with the line on my ruler here. That's how I'm keeping everything straight. And you want to take off the least amount possible, but still getting those dog ears as you're doing it. So now this is where the repetition of this block comes in. Our next step is grab our next size of triangle. You're going to lay it down here, and we're going to be working on the left side of where we started in the beginning. I'm going to add my next one. You're going to follow the same color palette pattern, which would be the black, the medium, the light, back to a medium. Just like that. And I've already got most of my next one sewn, so I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. I'll slide this over. And I just have to add on this one more side. We're going to keep following the same steps, 1/4 inch seams, square off all the dog ears there, and keep going around and around. So now guys, same thing. We're going to start with the black, and we're going to continue moving left all the way around, which will look something like this here. That way you guys get the orientation of this, but I already have one here that's almost sewn. That will give everyone a good idea of what we're doing here. I'm going to add on this last piece, and we're going to keep following all the way around. So just like that, sewed it, knocked off all those dog ears. It's time for the last round here, which is you're going to put the black on the top left corner. Then you're going to have your medium, the light, and then finally the medium here. Go ahead and sew all those together, which will give you your end block. So there's a lot of repeat steps here, right? You got your little 4 patch here, and then you just wrap it around and around and around. One of the fundamental blocks of quilting right here is a snail trail. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this aside, and we'll be working on block number 2. For our next block are the diamonds, what you see right here. They're super easy to make, but there is a template that is included in the pattern. Again, you can check out the pattern down the link below. I went ahead and cut it out of cardstock. It makes it a little easier to cut. The only thing that you need to know, though, is to cut out the large diamond. The easiest way to make sure you have an equal portionate diamond is cut out the template. And when you lay it down to cut out your piece of fabric, make sure you're cutting on the fold. That way, when you cut it all out, it will land perfectly into the diamond shape, and they'll be perfect mirror images of each other. That's the reason why we have it in the half form. If you want to, you can go ahead and print out 2 of these, stick them both together, and cut that way if you feel more comfortable. As far as template number 2, this one you just have to understand that when you're cutting them out, you will be able to need to use both sides of it. So there is a left side and a right side. Due to the fact that I'm using a solid black here, there isn't any difference. It's the same on both sides. But all you have to do is, if you want to cut one side, you cut it like so. If you want to cut the other side, you just flip it right over and do the mirror of it. Very simple, but you'll need 2 lefts and 2 rights, or cut it out solid and it won't actually matter. From here, you are going to attach your sides. You can see 2 lefts there, and then my 2 rights like so. And we're going to use simple 1/4 inch, nothing crazy. lay them down right sides together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on both my left sides, then put on both my right sides. That way I know I've done them properly. Add it on my next side. From here to the ironing board, iron these guys open to get that pattern, which is what I'm going to do right now. Now it's time to add on the other sides. Same exact method here. Lay them down right sides together and on over to the sewing machine. Then from here, guys, go ahead and hit it with the iron or finger press it real nice and flat. And what you'll get is this block right here. Nothing too complicated here. If you have a little bit of dog ears on the end, go ahead and trim those off. But that is how you make the diamond block. Now it's on to block number 3. So guys, we are on the final block, which is this block right here. It's very similar to the snail trail here, other than we're going to keep everything in color order. I got my black square here, and I used the same technique to get my triangles here. They were squares. I cut them right down diagonally. But what we're going to do is we're going to add on our medium purple, just like so. Then from there, we're going to add on our light, which will go on just like so. Something to be mindful of is when you're making one like this, you want to do opposite ends together. So I'll do the top and the bottom, left to right. Same thing here, top, bottom, left to right. Very, very simple. So let's go ahead and start sewing. Now, little pro tip for everyone is if I take my center square here, I fold it in half and give it just like a finger press. And I'll do it the other direction as well. This will give me a center point. That way when I'm doing my triangles, I can now line it up with the creases that I've just made. It helps keep things a little bit straight. From here, take it to the ironing board, iron it out, but you should have a square that looks just like this and knock off those dog ears there. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn it this direction and then add on my whites all the way around. Again, I'm going to do them opposites, top, bottom, left, right. I'll call this my bottom on this one. And we'll sew all the way around. Then from here, ironing board, knock off the dog ears there, and you should have something that looks just like that for our final and third block. So as far as assembling the quilt, this is very, very simple to do here, and I'll show you it on the quilt. You can see that we use the diamonds and our squares here as sashing. That's all they are, all linked together going both directions. And our snail trail is the actual block here. Once you put it all together, you get that diamond snail trail effect. And this is a super fun project to make. It does have 3 different blocks, that is true, but they're so simple to make. As always, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. And if you want even more content from us, hit that notification bell. That way you get alerted next time one of our videos comes out. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok. My name's Teancum, teaching you how to sew like a pro. We'll see you here next week at Sew Yeah Quilting.